I am not afraid of the gas chamber, because it will send me to paradise all the sooner, because I now have enough slaves to work for me. These words haunted David Oranchak every night as he stared at his computer screen, surrounded by empty coffee cups and printouts of cryptic symbols. For 14 years, this software developer from Virginia had been obsessed with a puzzle that had defeated FBI analysts, university cryptographers, and thousands of amateur codebreakers. The Zodiac Killer's 340-character cipher, sent to newspapers in 1969, remained unsolved after 51 years. But on December 5, 2020, Oranchak's persistence would finally unlock the twisted message hidden within those symbols, revealing the chilling psychology of America's most notorious uncaught serial killer. If you're fascinated by stories where obsession meets breakthrough, make sure to subscribe, because this is the ultimate tale of how one man's refusal to give up solved the mystery that had stumped experts for half a century. David's fingers traced the edge of his keyboard as the cipher glowed on his monitor. 3 in the morning again. The same 340 characters that had haunted him since college stared back, mocking his latest failed attempt at decryption. He rubbed his eyes and leaned back in his desk chair. Most people encountered the Zodiac case, got fascinated for a few weeks, then moved on with their lives. David couldn't explain why the ciphers had burrowed so deep into his mind. Maybe it was the programmer in him, the certainty that every puzzle had a solution waiting to be found. The website he'd built in 2006 had attracted other obsessives like himself. ZodiacKiller.com buzzed with theories and collaboration, but the Z340 remained untouched. David wasn't a trained cryptographer, just a software developer who believed computers could test possibilities faster than human intuition. His wife's footsteps creaked on the stairs. She'd find him here again, surrounded by coffee cups and printouts, lost in a world of symbols that made sense only to a killer. The cipher looked deceptively simple. Letters, numbers, strange symbols, some resembling astrological signs, others completely abstract. The Zodiac had successfully created and sent a 408-character cipher that was solved within days in 1969. This new puzzle should have yielded its secrets just as easily. But every technique failed. Oranchak tried classical substitution ciphers, frequency analysis, pattern recognition, mathematical algorithms. His computer programs ran for hours, testing thousands of possible decryption keys. Nothing produced coherent English text. Other amateur investigators joined the effort through his website. They shared theories, tested new approaches, encouraged each other through years of failure. But the Z340 remained impenetrable. Professional cryptographers dismissed the amateur efforts, suggesting the cipher might be unsolvable or even meaningless. Perhaps the Zodiac had simply created random symbols to waste investigators' time. But Oranchak noticed something others missed. Statistical analysis of the cipher showed patterns that couldn't be random. The distribution of symbols, their placement within the grid, subtle repetitions that suggested underlying structure. The message was real. He just hadn't found the key yet. 11 years. David stared at the screen. The same symbols that had consumed over a decade of late nights. His programs had grown more sophisticated, his understanding deeper, but the Z340 remained as impenetrable as ever. The email from Belgium changed everything. Jarl van Eyck, another programmer, another obsessive drawn to the same unsolved puzzle. But Van Eyck's approach focused on visual patterns rather than symbol frequency. His first message was simple. I think we're missing something about the structure. David's pulse quickened as he read Van Eyck's analysis. The Belgian had identified something David's programs had overlooked, section divisions within the cipher that suggested multiple encoding methods. Then came the message from Australia. Sam Blake brought mathematical expertise neither programmer possessed. His statistical analysis revealed patterns that made sense only if the cipher employed layered encryption, substitution, and transposition working together. 3 time zones, 3 obsessions. David felt something he hadn't experienced in years. Hope. Their first video call was awkward. Three strangers united only by their refusal to accept defeat. But as weeks turned to months, their collaboration deepened. Code shared across continents, theories tested and refined, breakthrough attempts that ended in familiar frustration. Van Eyck's pattern recognition software identified diagonal relationships within the cipher. Blake's statistics confirmed the mathematical impossibility of randomness. David synthesized their discoveries into algorithms that could test thousands of possibilities simultaneously. But still, nothing coherent emerged. If you're enjoying this story of international teamwork tackling an impossible puzzle, don't forget to subscribe for more cases where persistence and collaboration triumph over seemingly insurmountable challenges. The breakthrough almost didn't happen. In late 2020, after years of shared effort, the team was running out of new approaches to test. They had tried thousands of decryption methods, analyzed every possible pattern, and still faced the same impenetrable wall of symbols. Then Oranchak's latest algorithm identified something unexpected. When the cipher was rearranged in a specific diagonal sequence, reading patterns that Van Eyck had identified, and applying substitution keys that Blake's statistics suggested, meaningful English words began to emerge. December 5, 2020. David's latest algorithm had been running for 6 hours. He should have been sleeping, but something kept him anchored to his desk chair. Van Eyck and Blake were asleep in their time zones, unaware that tonight might finally be different. The program finished processing. David held his breath as results populated the screen. English words. Actual. David. English words. His hands trembled as he scrolled through the decoded text. Misspellings, twisted logic, but unmistakably coherent. The killer's actual thoughts, preserved in Cipher for 51 years, now revealed. I hope you're having lots of fun in trying to catch me. David's heart pounded. He read the message 3 times, then immediately opened video calls to Belgium and Australia. Van Eyck answered first, hair disheveled from sleep. David? What time is it? We did it. David's voice cracked. The Z340. It's solved. Blake joined the call minutes later. The 3 men, separated by continents but united by obsession, verified the solution together. The same puzzle that had defeated FBI cryptographers, university experts, thousands of amateur investigators, had finally surrendered its secrets. But David felt no triumph. Only a cold chill as he absorbed the killer's twisted theology. Murder as a path to paradise. Victims as eternal slaves. A mind so fundamentally broken that death itself became a career aspiration. The FBI confirmed their solution within days. The same agency that had worked on the cipher for 5 decades acknowledged that 3 amateur investigators, working from their home computers, had succeeded where professional cryptographers had failed. But success brought new questions. The decoded message provided unprecedented insight into the Zodiac psychology, revealing religious delusions and a twisted theology of murder. It offered no clues about his identity, location, or additional crimes. The sophistication of the cipher itself was revelation enough. The Zodiac had employed multiple encryption layers, demonstrating advanced knowledge of cryptographic methods. He understood how codebreakers worked and specifically designed his puzzle to defeat their techniques. Oranchak's obsession had been vindicated, but had also evolved. The Z340 solution brought renewed attention to the Zodiac's remaining unsolved ciphers, the 13-character Z13 and 32-character Z32 puzzles that still guard their secrets. The success also demonstrated how civilian expertise could contribute to law enforcement investigations. 3 individuals with no official connection to the case had provided law enforcement with new insights after decades of official stagnation. For Oranchak, the moment represented both triumph and transformation. The puzzle that had consumed 14 years of his life was finally solved, but the broader mystery of the Zodiac's identity remained as compelling as ever. Today, David Oranchak continues working on the remaining Zodiac ciphers while maintaining his website as a resource for amateur investigators. The Z340 breakthrough proved that persistence and modern technology could solve mysteries that seemed hopeless for generations. The decoded message revealed a mind consumed by grandiose delusions about death and power. The Zodiac's twisted theology, where murder provided eternal slaves while others faced nothingness, offered disturbing insight into his motivations. Law enforcement agencies have used the Cipher solution to refine their psychological profiles of the suspect. The religious delusions, media monitoring, and sophisticated encryption knowledge all provide new data points for investigation. The case remains officially unsolved. The Zodiac Killer was never caught despite one of the largest manhunts in California history. DNA evidence has been analyzed repeatedly, but no definitive match has emerged from criminal databases. Several suspects remain under consideration. Arthur Lee Allen was long the prime suspect, but DNA evidence couldn't conclusively link him to the crimes. Other suspects have been similarly ruled out or remain unproven. The Cipher breakthrough has inspired other amateur investigators to apply modern techniques to cold cases. Online communities dedicated to unsolved mysteries continue growing, with participants sharing expertise in cryptography, forensics, and digital investigation. Modern technology continues evolving to meet new challenges. The computer programs that cracked the Z340 would have been impossible to run in 1969. Future advances in quantum computing and artificial intelligence might make today's unsolvable puzzles seem elementary. For the Zodiac investigation, Oranchak's breakthrough represents both closure and new beginnings. After 51 years, investigators finally understand what the killer was communicating in his most famous cipher. But the message itself opens new questions about his psychology, methods, and identity. The religious aspects of the decoded text suggest possible investigation avenues. The Zodiac's specific beliefs about paradise and slavery might reflect exposure to particular theological or philosophical traditions that could help narrow the suspect pool. Van Eyck and Blake continue their collaboration with Oranchak, applying lessons learned from the Z340 to the remaining unsolved ciphers. Their international partnership proves that expertise recognizes no borders when confronting enduring mysteries. The story of the Z340 cipher demonstrates that some secrets resist revelation for decades, but persistence and collaboration can eventually unlock even the most challenging puzzles. David Oranchak's 14-year obsession transformed from personal fascination into a breakthrough that advanced one of America's most notorious cold cases. If you're captivated by stories where individual dedication achieves breakthrough results, make sure you're subscribed for more mysteries where refusal to give up eventually pays off. Whether the remaining Zodiac ciphers will eventually be solved remains uncertain. But the Z340 breakthrough proves that even the most challenging enigmas can yield their secrets to the right combination of expertise, technology, and sheer determination.